Hello. Today I want to talk about the Oliver Stone movie Savages. And this movie is definitely fucking savage. The movie is very bloody and very gritty, but it's also a lot of fun. It reminds me of vintage Tarantino or Oliver Stone's own Natural Born Killers. I really like movies that are dark but are also a lot of fun. The movie centers around three friends, Ben, Sean, and O. Ben is a hippie, globe-trotting scientist businessman, while Sean is an ex-Navy SEAL who, in the words of O, is trying to fuck the war out of himself. O is the girl that they're both in love with, and all three of these friends live in paradise in Laguna Beach. Now, Ben and Sean own a very successful marijuana business in which they grow marijuana and sell it that has a much higher potency than any other weed, making it the best in the world. Now, everything is going really good. They're making money and they're having a good time and enjoying each other until the Baja Cartel wants in on their business. We're introduced to the cartel through a video in which Benicio del Toro, who plays Leto, is in a warehouse with many severed heads. At the end of the video, he punts one of the heads, sending the message that you do not fuck with the cartel. You do not say no to the Baja Cartel. The friends do try to say no. They eventually relent. At least the cartel thinks so, but they really plan on running. But before they can, the cartel steals O. They spend the rest of the movie trying to rescue their kidnapped love. Now, this movie is pretty over the top, but I love it. An example of this is Sean, who was ex-Navy SEAL, has a team of snipers that he was in the war with, who he uses on operations in which they try to get O back. Now, normally you would not expect a team of ex-Navy SEALs to be the muscle for a drug dealer, but in this movie, that's the case. One thing I'll say about this movie, too, is that none of the characters really stand out for me big time. At least not to the level of some of the classic characters, like Woody Harrelson's character in Natural Born Killers or Juliette Lewis in Natural Born Killers. But I still like some of them. Ben, who's played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, he does a pretty good job, but it's not like epic. Like, it's not memorable. He just does a good job in this situation. Sean, played by Taylor Kitsch, I'd say the same thing. I think he does a pretty good job as being like dark but tender, but it's still not really super memorable. What I really like in this movie is actually the bad guys. Alina, who's played by Salma Hayek, is the leader of the Baja Cartel, and she just does such a good job. I love the contrast in her character of how she's a loving mother, yet she's an evil drug lord, and she oozes cool. And then I also really like John Travolta's character. Even though he's kind of a pussy and an asshole, he's doing that vintage, like, yelling, whining Travolta thing that he does. And I really like it. He does a good job. He plays a DEA agent named Dennis. Now, I would also like to talk about the dialogue in this movie, which I think is okay. There are some high points. Towards the beginning of the movie, O is talking about having sex with Sean, and she says that she has orgasms and Sean has wargasms. I think that's probably the best line in the movie. And also the speech by Elena, played by Salma Hayek, where she is talking about how their relationship is messed up because, the guys love each other more than they love her because otherwise they wouldn't share her. And there's some other good lines too. But overall, I wouldn't say it's epic. I think this actually is a pretty cool movie, and I really like it a lot. I would definitely recommend it if you are a fan of vintage Tarantino or vintage Oliver Stone. I think that you would really like this movie a lot, and I definitely would say go out and see it. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, though. Like, you have to like bloody crime dramas to enjoy this movie, but I really do. It's one of my new favorites. I wouldn't say that it reaches anywhere near Natural Born Killers or movies like Pulp Fiction, but I definitely fucking love this movie. It's a bloody thrill ride, and definitely if you are a fan of this kind of movie, you need to watch it. It's pretty good. Definitely don't overlook it. Right. Bye-bye.